Well, it is time, ladies and gentlemen. The sheep have been slaughtered, and the game has begun. The second game between chimps and a fat penguin. We're on prairie here. Coming into this matchup, is there a particular side you favor?
Yes, I favor chimps because ELO. But beyond that, I still think that this team, I still think that a fat penguin have an opportunity here, right? They just showed last game that H3 isn't this deadly combo that can't be, and we're seeing in chat people saying it might not even happen. I think if we don't even see the sling, then yeah, there's tons of opportunities here. The game is still really open. There's a lot of really good strategies, and we'll see Louis dropping that early barracks. Gonna be going for the
Look how close he is. He takes a gentle walk across the park, and there he is. Hello, how are you going? How's your father? Vodka,
Yeah.
if we could switch out or switch over the scoreboard at the top as well, just so that we've got representation for our eastern team on the right side and our western team on the left side. Thank you very much. Makes it much easier upon my obsessive compulsive disorder brain.
My brain. Yeah, no, we're good. Yeah, this is really distinct. If we think about last game, right? Beastyqt did this Dark Age Rush, built one Man-at-Arm, and his opponent had already towered with 5 villagers. He was building that tower to prevent this damage. And here we see a very different approach. Beastyqt letting the damage come in, just gonna try and age up here. No pit mine is a bad feeling as Malians. If this gets denied eventually or killed eventually, which it could potentially, I mean, it'll take some time to burn it down. Prioritizing the houses makes sense when there's only a couple houses. It makes more sense to prioritize the pit mine when the houses are full, right? Because then you're just going to deny all the income faster.
Yep.
Right. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm not convinced by anything yet. Aachen coming down. DeMusliM making his appearance in the tournament today.
Yeah.
Did sit out in the 2v2, but ready to pounce here.
All right. Well, we'll check back in on that north side. Yeah, he is definitely the kind of guy who is getting those cat claws out and looking for a pounce. But look at this, Beastyqt moving forward. 5 villagers coming in. It's going to be the Saharan trade network. No real surprises here. Opting for a salami style of defense, something that we do see out of him quite often. But look at this in the rear with the gear B coming up and dropping down an outpost to help out. And this is actually going to be the second set of villagers that is coming out, or rather it's going to be the second villager that's coming out, but it's in a different location. Here's the other one down here, so it's going to be on that French gold mine that he's going to be looking to focus. Now French has got plenty of backup gold options, so not going to be a huge issue, but still a very strong opening coming out from the Penguins.
Yeah, CSO committing 2 vills to a tower on both players. And are they even considering going to DeMusliM afterwards? Like,
yeah, this isn't even their final form.
Yeah, they're like, last game, you guys pressured our gold a lot, and that didn't feel good. And so this game, they're like, what if we pressured the gold? And that's what they're doing, and they're hoping it feels good. And we'll see. I think it's working, but we see a decidedly different approach, if you don't mind me saying this. In the last game, there was a lot of idle time on the side of CSO's whole eco, right? And here, it seems like Chimp's approach to dealing with this pressure is to just kind of let it happen and just rebuild the houses.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just evacuate, don't idle vills, keep working, right? And I think that's an interesting distinction, and we'll see how this pans out.
All right, well, the outposts are coming up. B going to be dropping that one down. Vills jump, or rather, Spearman jumping inside. Let's take a look on the north side, because that outpost is up as well. He's not going to be able to gather anything from this once the arrow slits come through. I think that Beastyqt's probably got, you know, now is probably the time that he might have to look to bust this if he wants to bust it. Because once arrow slits comes through, once that gets stocked up with a couple more spearmen, that's going to be a very tough position to deny. But we do see, look at this. It's a feudal age barracks coming down right now from DeMusliM. Have they done it? Have they stopped the burger strategy before it even happened?
I have a hunch that the chat just knew that it wasn't going to happen. And if I've learned anything, Twitch chat is always right. So we probably should have just listened to them. The first time they said, oh, no, they won't sling. We should have just guessed. I think this might be by design. Like, we're just all gonna play defensive and hold our bases, not lose, and then we'll meet up maybe mid-feudal with bigger armies than our opponents, right? Because they are investing a lot into these aggressive opportunities, and it's not like it's not doing anything. It's just, is it doing enough to prevent them from losing, right? They have 2 players still in the Dark Age, not up yet. 5:30 is in now for Louis. It's like looking like a 6:20 castle or feudal time for sorry, for CSO, right? So we'll see. We'll see.
We will see indeed, but it is going to be the silver tree, so there is always a silver lining to these strategies. And oh, look, so this was busted. So the outpost outside Beastie's base was busted down. Definitely the right choice. As I alluded to, he needed to go then. Otherwise, don't bother, because it is very difficult to bust through that. But the consequence of spreading yourself too thinly. I mean, we saw that B went for multiple outposts against multiple players. 3 outposts on 3 players, and the consequence is that he doesn't have enough units to defend them all.
Yeah, we're seeing Neptune coming across the map now with knights. So the follow-up to all this pressure is, are there any exposed vills? Are you guys relying on a woodline like that we can hit? Are you doing something silly with like a hunt or something? And we'll see if Neptune can get a lot of damage in. MarineLorD, though, very good on the French. We'll see if he's able to reciprocate in kind.
What is going on with CSO at the moment? It says he's aging up with the silver tree, and that it's 0 out of... Is this a bug?
It's moving.
Okay.
No, it's moving. Yeah, this happens. This happens.
So he's not going to be going for double production, but he is just going to be going for silver tree production, which is obviously pretty darn decent.
Yeah, this is... We'll see if he ends up using the silver tree much. It seems a little too early to really start heavily investing in trade. But maybe he's thinking now's the time. Yeah, BC looking for the castle age. Looking good.
So we don't actually have a Holy Roman Empire cheeseburger coming out. Instead, it's going to be just a Beastyqt Malian cheeseburger that's coming out. A little bit different.
We saw this on... Yeah, I mean, Malians can obviously just use their extremely good eco for themselves, right? And it's always been the case. So we'll see what they end up doing. I would assume Musafati Jav, because that's what BC's been playing with recently. I saw them do that yesterday in the games. So wouldn't be too surprised there if we see that. Like, for example, I think the Musafati would be a good call here, I guess.
All right, well...
Yeah.
Nice little raid coming in at the moment. Louis doing a decent job against Beastie. Frimba Garrison going to be going down in the base. No real surprise there. Obviously, the big cow landmark has fallen out of favor recently. The Frimba Garrison, the main focus of many a Malian player. Over on that.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the aggressiveness of the map, right? On a really aggressive map like this, you're always going to want to prefer the Frimba. But I think in some metas, on like really slow maps, like Altai or something, right? Like where it's going to be really campy and you could see the cattle landmark more, but yeah, Farimba's so strong.
And we do see a market moving to the corner. This is going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to this because we've got ourselves a pretty strong trade war potentially opening up here. You know, you've heard about trade agreements and bad trade agreements. Well, this is going to be a good one. Now, that's a lot of men-at-arms. Couple spearmen in there. Magadai could be looking to try and pick them off, but the spearman number's still pretty high. Skewers going out. Knights getting forced back, and both teams heading away in different directions. Well, let's talk a bit about that, because you've got Malian trade going up against Mongol trade. Who do you like there more?
Yeah, I would say the one who's actually looking to trade right now. Like, Malian trade isn't happening yet, is it? Is BC setting it up?
Not
All
yet.
I see is the silver tree.
But it is. He is a man known to trade. That much will be said. So
That's fair.
Expect to see it at some point. But I mean, at this point in the game, I mean, it's just going to be CSO that is looking to trade. He's begun making them. The first trader is out. Let's take a look and see how much he's actually got on those first traders, because it should be making its way across the map. There we go.
Yeah, there's actually...
just a measly 290 gold. It's not too bad.
Yeah, just a bit. What's really interesting is how much is actually happening on the map right now. Basically, every wood line on the side of Chimps has been under pressure at some point in this game, and a Fat Penguin has had a lot of trouble in their own base, right? There hasn't been a lot of opportunity for counterattacks. MarineLorD hasn't had as many knights as Neptune, and I'm not sure what MarineLorD's even doing with his knights at the...
Yeah, it's a good point. It's been a struggle for him, but we do see that he's gone for a second town center. Typically, we do see French players go 20 minutes without a second town center in these team games, which is a lot different to 1v1, right? In 1v1, you see that second town center getting added in at 6 minutes 30. Nice and early in the game. But not here, not in this case.
I really actually like that adaptation. I think it's really important because it's basically just accepting that you're going to lose vills and you need town centers to replace them, right? And I think that's just, there's an element of truth to that, and it looks like basically that's the plan here for Chimps, is to just try and hold the raids back and eventually they'll outscale.
All right, well, the age up now coming through. Steppered out, going to be dropped down for CSO here, over on the east side of the map. Interesting that he decides to go with the Steppered out, despite having a pretty strong position when it comes to his gold.
Yeah, indeed, it is a bit confusing, but at the same time, it's not, because the curl tie is good on maps that are campier, maps with like that are gonna fight in one spot, because it's gonna sit in one spot generally. I mean, you can move it around, but like only a bit, right? This game is going to be happening in the back of the opponent's base. A lot of really important stuff is going to happen there. And the way you actually interact with that is by having a better economy to support more units. So I kind of agree with this choice, just for this map and how it's been playing, but I could see both working. I love MarineLorD's positioning here, trying to get really aggressive, has a second TC. He's going to have an advantage, a sizable advantage over Neptune pretty soon, unless Neptune does something different.
I want to follow those knights, though, because those knights are the potential scouts here for the Chimps. Looks like they're going to get cleaned up, or at least forced back at the moment by Neptune. But you're 100% on the money. It's only a matter of time until the knights of Neptune are outnumbered by the knights of MarineLorD. 2 town centers going to be paying off shortly.
Yeah, he's got 6 more knights for now, but in this local fight, MarineLorD could even consider taking the fight, but I think he's just going to run away for now. Maybe get a good charge in a moment. But yeah, this is... There's a lot to unpack with this game, right? The trade is growing for CSO. I didn't expect him to get up to 6 traders without it getting spotted, but I'm thinking maybe it's just so crazy it just might work, might be the logic. Like, are Chimps even looking for trade, right? Do they even think it could be a thing? Did they even see the silver tree built? Like, those are all the question marks. This map is really big and open. There's a lot of space to hide shenanigans.
We do see a decent number of javelin throwers coming out for Beasty, but look at this, a little bit of a raid coming in. Neptune hitting MarineLorD and saying, get those villagers out of there. No woodline for you, no berries for you. Villagers forced back to the town center with just a little bit of health on them. I'm assuming he's got the textiles upgrade. You'd be absolutely crazy not to get textiles on a map like Prairie.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. MarineLorD, though, kind of accepting that these raids are just going to happen, as, again, that TC is going to kick in, although we do see Neptune adding a second TC of his own.
DeMusliM now, dropping down the Regnitz Cathedral. A lot of relics on this map. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that I can count, and I'm not that good at math, so expect that number to probably be wrong.
Yeah, so Musafati Jav has been the choice from Beasty. I think this combo is really good. Counting the relics.
Yeah,
the
sorry, I'm
Jab.
like...
No, you're good. I was like, 9 what? Relics, right. Yeah, no, the Musafati Jab I think is going to be a really good combo here against English. The Javelin Thrower has enough base damage to kind of chunk through the armored units. Not effectively, but in combination with the Musafati, it's really, really good. So one of the counters here for Louis is going to be camping his base and adding mangonels, which is really slow. So it might give the side of Chimps a bit of momentum if they can do something aggressive, maybe towards the middle of the map, locking certain things down, trying to wall. But you gotta be a little worried about this trade boom, right?
Not really. I mean, one of the things that I've learned about Mali and trade is you blink and you miss it. And what I mean by that is you can... Beasty at any point can just be like, hey, I'm going to start trading. He puts down 10 markets next to the neutral trading post and puts 1 market in the opposite corner, and he's got 10 traders heading down there, all picking up that gold as they go across, so it starts paying itself off straight away. And then he's got 10 more coming out, and all of a sudden he's up to 100 traders, and he's collecting the gold as he goes. So I feel like trade is obviously an investment. The longer the game goes, the better it gets for you, but I wouldn't be too fussed about this, knowing that you've got a Marlian on the enemy team with the trade landmark.
With our bird's eye view, I am actually worried about it personally. I think this many traders going untouched, not even scouted. Oh, actually, we see a unit from BC in the very north corner. I know this is interesting with the javelins hunting down these Mangonite, but there is a yellow dot at the market now of CSO, and I think this is important. Although more charges come in.
Yeah, we'll take a look and see what it is. It is indeed a Mustafadi warrior that has discovered the market in that corner. So I reckon he might be asking Louis, hey, buddy, can you make me some walls? They've discovered the truth about our trade. They know our secrets. Our trade secrets.
Meanwhile, Beastie teaming up with MarineLorD just to push them back in the middle. And it looks like, I mean, honestly, we haven't talked a lot about DeMusliM, but I think his position is getting really scary if you're on the side of a Fat Penguin, because you don't really have a Civ that handles that power spike well. I mean, maybe Mongols do, I guess. Mongols handle the power spike okay, like this. But
well,
I think we could be seeing an imp soon from HRE, right? With this much eco.
Yeah, you probably could. The javelin throwers for Beastie coming out. You know, we were talking about these earlier. You mentioned the fact that you do like them in mass numbers, and it seems Beastie likes them as well. Sitting at about 25 javelin at the moment. Actually, 35 javelin at the moment, so must be a lot. There's the rest of the javelin. They're down here from the south side.
You'll see they'll just kind of take huge chunks of HP out of these. Look at that. Just way more than an archer does. It's a little bit slower, and you have to be very cautious with your micro because the unit's more expensive and it moves slower. But it's a really good DPS when they chunk things like that. You see now the main guy hunting down the horde of HRE, and this game is all over the place. This is getting very chaotic fast.
Yeah, MarineLorD picking up a nice little raid here up against CSO. Now look at the numbers starting to build up. This is big.
Yeah, military counts 100, over 100 for each team combined. Economies, neck and neck, just a 10 difference. It's really going to come down to positioning, micro, how much players are willing to posture and risk positions, and see this engagement happening in the middle. Oh, that one villager just saved a lot of MarineLorD's units up there, giving him the charge out. Really nice mechanic usage.
Yeah, that was really solid. But Louis got to be careful. He's kind of in his own little position over here. Could get flanked quite easily, but this is the first time we're going to see all three players grouping up now. Something that we haven't seen a lot throughout the games today. A cohesive push. Not really happening, but finally we do see them all meeting. Royal Institute now going to be coming through for Neptune on the side of the Penguins. And with that, it's going to mean while he doesn't have the superior, I mean, he's got the superior numbers for the moment when it comes to Knights, but he's also going to have the superior upgrades.
Yeah, but Institute coming in for MarineLorD as well. His economy is so good that he's going to be able to quite a lot here. He's just been dealing with these Mangadai raids in his base, and so has DeMusliM. As soon as they can shore up their defenses to the point where the Mangadais are no longer... Oh my gosh, a massive push.
This is huge coming out right now from Louis, and look at this. He interrupts the Imperial Age. Beastie trying to get there, but Louis says, no, 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 no. It ain't happening. Not on my bloody watch. 10 units garrisoned inside that Sultan Hani trade network. Sultan Hani trade network? No, that's the Saharan trade network. Similar landmark, different civ. But the javelin throwers, look at the numbers coming out for him. He's having a lot of trouble here. Keep in mind with the javelin throwers, you got to attack move them. You can't focus down enemy units, because if you do, you're going to be overkilling like crazy. Still behind this, battering rams just working their magic. Age-ups coming through. We do see both MarineLorD and Neptune reaching the castle age.
But he's got that really nice line formation, and all the spearmen are cleaned up, so I actually think that this push is going to be held by Beastie. It's tricky, but I think he's done it. It's just really hard to fight this many longbows.
Well, he might have bigger fish or bigger problems now, because Knights are also looking to join the battle. Looks like the first of the landmarks will be going down and more Knights coming in. Beastie's got to be careful. He's all alone over on this west side of the map. We can see that DeMusliM slowly coming up, but he's got infantry there. It's going to be a while before he gets to the front line. The Knights heading through onto the javelin throwers. Beasty in trouble right now. Trouble in paradise on this north side of the map. All of the javelin getting completely eaten alive by the Knights of Neptune.
Yeah, and if we look at the other side of the map as well, I know this is really exciting, but I think MarineLorD isn't winning down there as well. I think there was just a huge raid in his economy as well. Really painful stuff. Now we're sending his Knights across to finally try and do a little bit of damage, but there was a lot of blue in MarineLorD's economy. And now look at a Fat Penguin. They have a 60 military lead and a 20 eco lead. This is starting to look really good for them. If they can hold this position in Beasty's base.
Mangonel! Oh my lord, look at the damage right there from the Mangonel, but it gets taken out after one shot. It's not going to matter. Neptune doing a good job cleaning that one up. Beautiful job by him right there. I'd love to see that healing circle come out. But look at the battering rams, how much work they're doing here. Beasty trying to hold on with the assistance of DeMusliM, but even then, look at the numbers from Louie. Remember, this guy is incredible. Rank 3 in the 1v1 ladder, rank 4 in the team ladder. This guy is an absolute beast, and you can see it really showing right now with his English.
Yeah, Louie has a really good position here. He's had network of castles or citadels if he has the upgrade for most of his time. They successfully grabbed the sacred sites even during all this chaos, ignoring several of the relics. Meanwhile, though, MarineLorD has been raiding. All those Knights in from Neptune have actually died or retreated at this point. So Beasty looks like he might be able to hold. Maybe not, though. That's a lot of longbows.
That's a huge amount of longbows, and yeah, they just eat through the ranged armor right there of the javelin throwers. But we do see the second landmark goes down. But fortunately, Beasty says it's all right. I'll make another one back here, and he goes for the Fort of the Huntress, which is probably the best option for him. The Griot Borough, obviously, another interesting landmark, but take a look at that. You know, I mentioned earlier, or in fact, you asked the question, you know, is trade a big deal here for the Mongolians, considering the fact that it's going to be, you know, unnoticed, untouched? And I said, no, it's not, because all Beasty does is he blinks, and then he's got a million traders. Take a look at what's happening behind the scenes over on that west side, that western corner. Right now, we got Mangadais running rings around the base, but if we look over on that west corner of the map, you'll see Beasty has got a lot of markets coming in right next to that trading post.
Yeah, exactly, and it's gonna scale it fast. It looks like MarineLorD, I think, actually got a lot of trader kills onto the Mongolian trade network that was set up. Like, I actually think he killed a lot. Now, the thing about Beasty adding all these traders is that there are Mangodai running around. We saw this at the start of the sets today, right? We saw that at game 1 of today.
Yeah.
Showed the power of these Mangodai when they get into the economies, and I think MarineLorD is actually struggling a lot economically here. I think he's losing a lot of vills to these raids constantly, and if these raids get into into these juicy eco spots like this, it's just so good.
Yeah.
And now he's just gonna run the trade, and all the trade's gonna die.
Yep. Look at the Mangadai numbers. This is insane how many Mangadais he's got. It's 41 Mangadai out right now. He's gonna clean up all of the traders from Beasty, takes out so many of the farmers from DeMusliM and MarineLorD. He's in such a great spot. Is this the second game we're gonna see Mangadai winning a game in a 3v3?
I think the position for a Fat Penguin has actually been so solid that I think Mangadai here feel a little bit like overkill. We'll see if it works. I mean, I'm not going to call the game yet in my head. I just think that this position was already winning. And I think CSO, if he kills, like, all these traders will die, right? So, a big investment for nothing. Meanwhile, Berkshire on the north, just to hold down that northern trade post, not let anything go by.
Yeah. We do see that the sacred site in the middle of the map was neutralized, though. So that is going to be the win condition off the table for the moment.
Yeah, an important moment there, because if that had been much longer, it could have gotten devastating, but we'll see. These Mangadai going through. The Javelin's actually a good answer. They do a lot of damage. The problem is they can't catch up. So the Mangadai are just going to keep away, and this is going to be a lot of
But they've got incendiary arrows through. Now look at the melt through the javelins. It's not even close anymore. Elite Mangadai with the full upgrades from that. Oh, they're doing so much damage.
Yeah, that was really, really good stuff from Mangadai. And CSO taking the timing really well. Meanwhile, Louie moving in again on Beasty's base. Looks like another big push there.
Did you see him kill that deer? he said fuck you in particular, and he just he destroyed that venison.
Oh, it looks like BC had just probably finished repairing all of his landmarks. They had already died twice, and here they go down again.
Poor Beastie. He's been suffering a lot here. His traders have been killed, his landmarks destroyed. He just wants to live in peace and trade happily. But Louie won't let him. And now we see them looking to try and shut Beastie out of this game completely. His score really starting to fall behind. Neptune, the only player really that close to him. The Mangonel mass. Look at the Mangonels coming out right now. DeMusliM.
Yeah.
When you got this many Mangonels, you can take on anything.
Yeah, he's been pretty quiet for a while. I think just shoring up defenses and dealing with these Mangadai raids. And maybe he's been fighting Neptune on the right, but oh, this is looking really bad for Beastie now.
Yeah, more and more villagers going down. CSGO doing CSGO doing a great job. My mistake. Doing a great job throughout this game. And look at that damage coming out right there from the Mangonel. But oh, this is terrible. Oh, this is terrible. Look at the damage. The raids are just non-stop. Can we? I would love a wall, but I feel like it's too late for walls, right? Like, is it ever too late for walls? I think it's too late.
No, it's never too late for walls against Mangadai. It's the only way to make it not over, right? It's like the only answer, I think.
All right. Well, the Mangadai, they're looping, but at the same time, down towards the south, we've got Knights towards the north as well. More Mangadai heading through the base. All 3 sacred sites captured. Let's go back over to those Mangonel and get an idea of where they are as they get caught out of... They're not so much caught out of position. They just keep posturing forward, looking for these shots. But against Mangadai, I mean, they're horseback archers, right? It's just going to be so hard to get a hold of them. And now more than 100 villagers difference between these two teams. Almost 100 military production, military population rather, between these two teams.
I'm getting really scared for the army of DeMusliM in the middle of the map there. Did you notice their knights like scouring around? They're getting a huge surround. We're gonna see a clap come in.
Speaking of clap coming through, look at this. Oh yeah, I hate to see it. There's so many traders. They almost made it the length of the field. He just takes them all out. The Mangonels. Oh, the Mangonels. Oh, Lord, the Mangonels. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm a bit of a jukebox at the moment, just throwing out all these different sounds.
Oh, this is so scary if you're in DeMusliM's position. There's so many units, but the Mangonels are so powerful. I don't think it's going to work, though. Split formation comes out from all the units, and he's going to take a 3v1 fight. What is he doing here? Oh.
He gets caught alone. The Knights just going to clean it up completely. More Mangadai running in over from that east side. Longbowmen, crossbowmen, all staying alive. They're doing a wonderful job on that top part, and he gets completely cleaned up. It's 50 military pop versus 177. It's 190 Vils versus 320. Good luck to the Chimps, because they're going to need it.
Army just got surrounded so efficiently. That was so clean. That is team play on a really, really good level. Like, actually coordinating and then executing the coordination.
MarineLorD surrenders.
Really good.
We go to game number 3, baby.
Desperation.
Every single series this day has gone to game 3. This has been absolutely insane.
Oh, my body is ready. Sorry. That was weird, but I'm ready. What a game.
That was amazing, wasn't it? I mean, look at Beastie. So unfortunate for him just dealing constantly with that pressure. But I got to say, if I had to give out an MVP award this game, I've got to give it to LoueMT. I don't believe the pressure he was putting out that game. It was insanity.
Odd stuff.
Look at the military numbers right there from Louie. Just crazy the amount of production.